Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. It's Friday, the 17th of February. Boy, oh boy, halfway through the month already. And you know what that means, Sean Higgs? We're 2 weeks away from March, man. Less than 2 weeks away from March. So looking forward to that time of year. I'm Ross Benjamin of rbwins.com, by the way, folks. And he's Sean Higgs of picksandparleys.net. Host of the Midday Money podcast. Sean, how are you, man?
Pretty good. Just a lot of games tomorrow. We're just talking about the Saturdays are just insane.
Yeah.
150 games. I was just telling you, like, you look at it, you're like, oh my goodness, my head. It's like, because you got to start, like, I had the lines printed out yesterday, right? I have the games and then I have my number. And then it's like, as the lines come out, you got to start matching up and see what it's like. And you're just like, holy cow.
Yeah.
It's a long Friday. It's not a fun weekend.
It's
a weekend for some people. It's not.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way around it. The games start at noon and run right through the day and night. And in our industry, you don't wake up on a Saturday morning trying to handicap a Saturday card.
Especially in college basketball. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, college basketball. I'm sorry, I should have been specific there. You can, but you won't make heck of a lot of money, folks, even if you won.
I know about you, Rose. I like to bet like ahead of time. Occasionally, maybe I'll see something. We're up at, I'm up at usually 6 on a Saturday most days. Even college football, even though I have the games bet, I want to see what the lines are going with the overnight stuff like that. But I'm not one who's just gonna there's guys like, all right, I have a game, I put out a 12, and then we'll see how that does. I'll come back later. Like I don't bet like that. Like my game, if it wins, I don't have to worry about it winning or losing because I already have money to bet the next game. I know there's people out there who like bet at 12 because they need money to bet at 3, to bet at 6, to bet at 9, to bet at 11. Like, that's not. Stop betting if you're doing stuff like that.
And if they're doing that, chances are they have very poor money management.
Yes.
Because if you wait and say, well, I got a game at 12, let me see how I do with this.
Yeah.
What does that mean? In hindsight, what it means is you're going to probably double up if you win and double up if you lose, because that's the mindset of people. I can't put everybody in that category.
That's the majority.
It certainly leads you to believe that's the case, right, Sean?
Yeah. I get people come in on like the midday money for football, like, well, who do you got? We got games at 12. I'm like, listen, if you don't know who you're betting at 12 o'clock and it's 11:53, just pass.
Yeah.
Don't wait for the guys on TV to tell you who they like or me. No, that time is past. You should at least have some kind of idea of who you like, and then. Whether good or bad, somebody like you're like, oh, all right, that guy kind of reinforces my opinion, right? You get the bias, like, oh, I'm glad we're on the same side. We're thinking the same. That's a good thing, right? But come on, you can't just wake up and say we're betting games at noon. It's 5 of. Let's wait for Lee Corso to put on his mascot hat.
Yeah,
at a football game.
Well, that's where I was going with that too, because that frustrates the hell out of me. Because look, as good as these guys are entertaining an audience and knowledgeable about college basketball, some of them played at the major college level and did so quite successfully, and others coached at that level quite successfully as well. They're still not handicappers, folks. So if you're depending on their opinion for a game, they're not thinking about the line. They're thinking about who's going to win or lose the game. So just keep that in mind as well. You want to deal with guys with us or listen to guys like us. I would hope that all our subscribers feel that way. When it comes to handicapping college basketball or any other mainstream sport that you deal with here. All right, we're going to cover Baylor and Kansas and Indiana and Illinois on Saturday. 2 real good games. Before we get to that, folks, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please take a second to do so. We are 11 and 5 with our last 5 college basketball videos. So plugging along here. And we got some great people on this show, not only myself and Sean Higgs, but also Doug Upstone, Jesse Shule, Joey D'Amico. Who am I missing?
You.
Me. Yeah. Well, there's 5 of us.
Me, you, Doug, Jesse.
Yeah.
And then Joe's the 5th. Joe just jumped on.
Yeah. And right. There you go. Joe D'Amico. Joey Baloney's with us. So looking forward to his
He
segments.
brings the energy. Normally, it's like me coming in and I have a little rant to get going. You don't even need that with Joe. Joe's just going to come in firing.
And folks, take some of his claims with a grain of salt, because he's the great American exaggerator, my buddy, sometime. But he's really, when it comes to handicapping the games, he's on the level, folks. So
well, you see when he comes in. I mean, we watched the video. The guy's ready to fire. He's got all this stuff. I remember talking to him. He's like, I gotta get all my notes together. I'm like, all right. He's like, yeah, it takes me about an hour each game. I'm like, wow. All right. I mean, we go things different way. I have my set and I'm just running off of a couple and go from there. Yeah. He's, you know how it is. You got this guy's notebooks. Like I've seen, like just,
well,
there we go. Bring them out. I know you got them old school.
In Joey's defense, just my notes. I don't know if you could see them.
They're blacked out from the screen.
From the green screen.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I see him.
Yeah, there you go. So there's a little bit of flash. So I do the same thing.
I keep notes too. I got them. You got to have,
So
he got a little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to do a new feature here every time Sean's on the show. And it's going to be called Sean's Rant of the Day. And Sean, as you know, is very outspoken on a lot of things in the world of sports, specifically sports betting. So take it away, my friend. What do you got for us today?
Yeah. So, we always joke like we get started on like the NBA or NFL or the bad beat refund stuff. So we got to go back to the NBA. I saw that they're switching the All-Star game. We're going to pick the reserves first so nobody feels bad about picking last. Are you freaking? I picked last? You're one of, how many guys are in the All-Star game? 15, right? So what, there's 30 guys. So you're one of the 30 best players in the entire world, because I don't, okay, people, they might think there's somebody in Europe playing who's an NBA guy. He's not in the All-Star game. He'd be playing in the NBA if he was. And you're worried about hurting some guys' feel. You know what? Don't play the game. If this is the strong man of our generation, you're gonna hurt this guy's feeling. He's making $27 million. He's the last one picked. What the? I mean, it's bad enough that like you got LeBron like throws people has people escorted out for heckling him for missing free throws. Like, I mean, come on already. Stop it. This is besides the flag football in the NFL nonsense. And this.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, all right. Old guy yells at cloud. I get it. Get off my lawn. Really. Get off my lawn, please. This is an embarrassment to like just.
They should just name it, even in the NHL now. You know what I mean? These games, I mean, they play 3-on-3 hockey. It doesn't resemble a regular game. And before they even did that, very little defense is played at the NHL All-Star game. The NBA.
I understand the NBA. No defense in the NBA till like the fourth quarter. It used to be wild. And in fourth quarter, they'd D up. The guys would go in, Jordan, Magic, Kobe, whoever. Any of that generation would come and play, and they wanted to win a game. Now it's just guys, half-court shots. And I understand they got to entertain. But now it's gone to the point where it's just, whatever. I mean, really, we don't want to upset somebody being picked last because we got to pick two teams. I don't know why we got to pick teams, because we have friends, because these guys can't go on their own. And like, there's no pure hatred where, hi, Jordan gets on the field. You know what? We're not passing to you, rookie. Forget it. I don't like you. That's the way it used to be. Now it's like, I just want to be with my friends. Don't hurt my feelings. And I hope I'm picked first. Like that is, well.
Yeah. I mean, all they need to do is go to any playground in the Bronx or Brooklyn and watch these guys pick their teams from who's available, because nobody's worried about hurting anybody's feelings in those games.
I mean, we played the playground and it was like, all right, we're choosing teams. Here you go. Shoot free throws. The guy, and then we moved it back to like the top of the key. People, right? That's it. You missed? Oh man, that stinks. I got to sit out, wait for the next game. Nobody got upset. The best guy sometimes missed a free throw, and people be like, "Oh, come on! I don't want this chubby guy. Why do I want Higgs? I don't want him. I want this guy. I made my free. I know I'm going to make my free throw. I'm playing. I'm getting on that court.
Are you done?
Yes.
Okay, let's get on to the game.
Are you sure you want to do a rant like this instead of
I do. I do. I just want to make sure you were done. I'm showing some professional courtesy, because sometimes I know that you go on a rant, you got to catch your breath. You're getting old.
I can't. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
All right.
We don't want to hurt anybody's. That's what he said. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. That's what the commissioner of the NBA said. A guy who makes $30 million a year. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Anyway,
how about you suit up and go play in the WNBA if that's a problem? Don't hurt anybody's. No, but you're not going to get your feelings hurt over there because nobody watches it.
Now you're going to get every woman in America to revolt.
That'll be next week. We'll talk about that next week. We'll do WNBA.
All right. So Baylor at Kansas, buddy. Let's talk specifics here. Right now, Kansas is a 4.5-point home favorite. The total in this game is 150.5. That's according to 5 Dimes right now. And what do you got for us on this contest? Because Baylor has been playing real good basketball, and Kansas is showing signs of the what they did last year when they made a run to the national title.
Yeah, they had that bad little stretch. They dropped a few in a row. They started with that Kansas State loss, but here they are. I mean, top 10 team, both of them playing very good. I'm not really going to try to overanalyze the way these teams are playing. They're 2 good teams. Baylor's up on that Kansas level. They're a top 10 perennial, top 10, top 12 team. Kansas is always on there. And if you look at the way they played in the past, Ross, all these games, forget about the spread. Home team's winning. I've said, we talked about this we did the Maryland game the other day, right? I said, we're taking Maryland at home. I don't care. It's Purdue, number 3. They're on the road. Teams have trouble winning on the road. Kansas goes on the road.
Too. Yeah.
They go out and lose by 7 on the road. 6-7, they lost to Baylor. So I don't mind the spread here. It's 4, 4.5, 5. In this series, going back a couple of years, all the home teams, either side, have won. They have covered all these numbers, all lower numbers like this, 4, 5, 6, 7s. Doesn't make a difference to me. I think Kansas wins. It'll be, I hate to say it's easy when they win by 7 or 8 and the line's 4 or 5, but I don't think the spread matters. I'm going to take the home team. I'm taking Kansas. I'll lay it at 4.5.
Yeah, I can't blame you there. Baylor is playing good right now, but this might be a game we see some high scoring, but you never know because both teams are underrated defensively, both very capable offensively. So that makes it a tough call, especially at 150.5. I agree with you. Kansas right now has the look in their eye when I've watched them the last couple times. They share the basketball well. They can shoot the 3. They could defend. They could rebound. And Baylor, if you've watched them over the last 2 weeks or so, playing as good as anybody in college basketball right now. So
took that loss to Texas, but otherwise, I mean, they're playing really good. And that's another. You look at the spread at 4.5 or 5, whatever it's going to end up at, and you automatically think, well, I got to take Baylor. They're right up there with Kansas. They're whatever they're ranked 8, 9. With they're variable. It's easy to say. Hey, let's just take the points. It's going to be a close game. I don't know. It's the line's there for a reason, and I'm looking at the way they've played. Let's go Jayhawks. Rock chalk Jayhawk. Get it done.
Got to trust the odds makers more than anything else, folks. 4.5. That leads me to, if my math is correct, to believe that if the game was in Waco, Baylor would be somewhere around a 1.5 to 2 point favorite in this contest. So that's how close this matchup is. And
that's what it was last time. January 23rd, it was a 2-point game and they won by 6.
Yeah. So there you go. So Sean Higgs likes the Kansas Jayhawks laid up 4.5 at home at Allen Fieldhouse over the Baylor Bears. I'm going to take a look at a Big Ten matchup between the Illinois Illini and the Indiana Hoosiers. This game goes at 12 Eastern time. It will be televised by ESPN. So it's a watch and win special, Sean. All right. Right now, according to 5 Dimes, Indiana's a 4-point favorite, and the total in this game is 144.5. I'm going to look at the total in this game. I mean, we're looking at an Indiana team that's gone under in their last 3. Those 3 games average a combined 125 points per game. They're very good. They are a very good 3-point shooting team, I should say. However, they don't attempt a lot of 3s, Sean. They're in the high 30s in conference play and shooting the 3 yet. Their last 5 games, they've only attempted 10 3-point shots per game. That's an extremely low number. Conversely, Illinois, number 1 in the Big Ten when it comes to 2-point defense at 46%. So if Indiana doesn't shoot a lot of 3s, that means they shoot a lot of 2s, and they're facing a team that's the best in the Big Ten right now at defending the 2-point shot. Indiana's also allowed 66 or less in their last 3 and 7 of their last 10. This is an Indiana team that's 13-1 at home, and a lot of that sparked by their defense is in those 14 home games only allowing less than 63 points per game and less than 40% shooting. Illinois, number 28 nationally in adjusted defense, according to KenPom, And that same site, KenPom, also shows Indiana as the #1 team in block shots in Big Ten play. So they defend the perimeter, like I said, with the 2-point defense and their ability to block shots. Illinois is a terrible 3-point shooting team and a terrible free throw shooting team. So that always helps when you're looking at a total to calculate if you want to go under, which I'm going to do in this contest. And just to finish up real quickly, Illinois off a 93-81 loss at Penn State. They went over the total quite handily in that game. However, 6-1-1 to the under in Illinois' last 8 games. Following a game, they went over the total. In those 8 games, averaged just a combined 132 points scored per contest. The first meeting, 80-65, Indiana wins on the road at Illinois. That pushed the total of 145, and that game didn't go over, despite the fact Indiana shot a season-high 61.8%, and Illinois went 8 for 19 from the three-point line for 42%, and it still didn't go over. And I don't think either team is going to match those numbers in this contest. The last 3 in the series have gone 2-0-1 to the under, with a shade under 135 points combined scored per game. Illinois, Indiana under the total of 146 for Ross Benjamin, and Sean Higgs likes the Kansas Jayhawks at home, -4.5 over Baylor. Sean, any final words? And if you want to comment on my game.
Yeah, so the last 3 Indiana, 64-62, 62-61, 66-60, all kind of close games.
Yep.
Illinois off a loss, not only lost, 93 points, which is ridiculous. That's like 140 in the NBA or something ridiculous. I mean, that's a whole lot of points.
Against Penn State besides. So
exactly.
That's a little bit of a fluke to me. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to be like, you know what? These guys put 80 on us at home. We lost by 15. We got smacked. You know, defense first. We're off a bad outing. We lost 2 of our last 3 overall, and both of them on the road, those losses. So, you know, Illinois, D up. That's the way you're going to win. You know, you're giving up 93 and 81 on the road. You're not going to win many games, no matter who you're playing, whether it's Penn State, Michigan State, Tarleton State. Can't give up those kind of points.
Anyway, yeah, and the other thing that's really mind-boggling, Sean, is Indiana shoots 3 real well. But, I mean, they're only averaging 14 3-point attempts in conference play per game. And like I said, over the last 5, 10 3-point attempts per game over the last 5. Yeah, I mean, you wonder why they, with their ability to knock them down at a high percentage, why that's not incorporated into more of their game. But I guess that's their identity. The problem's going to be is you got one of the best teams in the country who defends not only the interior with block shots, but also as far as field goal percentage inside the 3-point line. So we'll see. I like the under, and I certainly you can make a strong case for agreeing with Sean here on the Kansas play as well. So here we go, folks. 11-5, the last 5 videos in college basketball. Let's continue to winning today with a 2-0. And before we go anywhere, Sean, tell the folks what you may have coming up, what's been going on, and a little bit about your show if you want.
Yep. You can find me on Twitter, Mr. Sean Higgs, the Midday Money Show. We say it all the time on here. You could find on any of the podcast channels 7 days a week. And it's Friday night will be the late night show. We'll have the late night money because we got 140 whatever games tomorrow in college hoops. And starting next Monday, late night, we'll be back basically 7 days a week because I'm going to do some Major League Baseball futures, and then it's going to head right into conference tournaments are starting up next Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we'll do a little late show. It's kind of like a look headlines that I do during NFL season on Sunday nights, but this is more geared towards college basketball kind of stuff.
So you go, who's your sidekick? Ed McMahon on the late show?
Yeah, no late show. It's just me. I'll come in and run them down. It's, you know.
So anyway, you can find me at rbwins.com. That's rbwins.com.
These people don't know who Ed McMahon is. So you got to hit them with something.
These young guys are going, what's he talking about?
Yeah.
Anyway,
I didn't even know who's a late night guy.
Ed McMahon was a co-host with Johnny Carson in the old days. I mean, if you're familiar with Leno and you're familiar with David Letterman. They did that type of show back in the day. His was the only show in town. And Ed McMahon was notorious as his co-host for just sitting on the couch
laughing.
for
Yes, sir.
and going, yeah, "Ayo," or whatever he used to do when he laughed. And
yes, you just go like that.
Over $1 million a year back in the day, just to sit on his ass and basically laugh at everything that came out of Johnny Carson's mouth.
Fabulous.
Now that we got that out of the way,
that's your rant of the day.
Yeah, you can find me at rbwins.com, Sean at picksandparleys.net. Also visit Sean and his Midday Money show, which airs 7 days a week, every day at 12 noon Eastern time. And he's doing night shows too. So check that out. You can find that at the picksandparleys.net YouTube channel and all the major streaming services that are out there that everybody listens to these days. Until the next time, folks, we hope you have a fantastic weekend. Can't be fantastic without making a lot of money. So that's why you have to invest into us, follow our free picks. And until the next time, for Sean Higgs and Ross Benjamin, I'd like to wish each and every one of you nothing but the very best.